Yes, yes,
All
yes.
right, peace to the family. Oh man, I ain't got my phone on me. I usually have my phone. Peace to my family. We got a good show for y'all tonight. Got some amazing guests with me here tonight, family. Show a little earlier than usual, in honor of Women's Her Story Month. Kufunya is on the platform. She's doing her show on my platform this week. So Kufunya gonna be doing her thing today. Kufunya, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and your guest
Yes,
today, Queen.
yes.
Oh,
Thank
but
you.
before you do that, Kufunya, I'm sorry. Let me get to some. Before we do that, I want a lot of people. Shout out to everybody coming into the chat room. One Moon, what's good, my brother? I want to get this. Give a shout out to a couple of magnificent businesses,
Absolutely.
as I always do. Oh, no, not that, not that. Yeah, first and foremost, shout out to King Simon, the best when it comes to numerology. Get that brother a call, text him your full name and date of birth, and he will get back to you in terms of numerology. He's always there to help, and he has always helped me. If you got a problem with diabetes and you need some help with that, the number on the screen is the number to call or the website to hit up. Glucose support formula, family. All right. Shout out to Billy Carson. Woke doesn't mean broke. Brother made it from nothing to multi-millionaire. So the brother definitely has some advice for those who are conscious and are looking to be financially wealthy or stable or more than stable at the same time. And last but not least, I want to give a special shout out to my brother Copper Child Mike L. Y'all see me wear these crowns during the video. And let me just share this real quick. Yeah, y'all see me wear these crowns during the video. I mean, a lot of people say, "Yo, where did you get that from?" Well, this brother right here, Copper Child Mike L. He has amazing, amazing crystals. He puts them on the hats. He puts the metals, the copper, all of that stuff on the hat. He turns the hat into a crown. If you want more information, the number's on the screen: 212-256-1358. All right, family. And with that being said, I want to welcome my sister. Kufunya, last time I seen you, we was doing the Kundalini. We was doing the
That's
Kundalini
right.
retreat.
That's right. We were doing the Kundalini, and it was, let me tell you something. I just want to let people know how beautiful you are.
Thank you,
I
thank
just
you,
want to
thank
let
you,
people
Queen.
know because normally my Monday night programs is on a Land Scurv network, and I
Mm,
bring various different guests and whatnot. And because, the censorship is really ridiculous, I was not able to do my program. So my spirit told me to reach out to actually two people, just trying to figure out how I could continue on my momentum.
mm-hmm.
And one of those people was Blue Pill. And then I said, okay, Blue Pill. He wasn't sure. So I said, okay, let me reach out to Father Rich. But I
Mm.
have your name under the Underground Railroad. So I was looking for Father Rich and I couldn't find it. So I asked him to give me your number, and I just following spirit. And
Right, right.
I just want to let people know that ask and it is given, seek and you shall find, and knock, the doors will be open for real, for real. And I just want to say out the gate that I'm very, very appreciative of you allowing me to be on your platform this evening. You just have to know how worthy and grateful I am. And when you are determined to do the work, heaven and earth, the universe conspires. It really
Sure.
does, Brother Rich. This
Yeah,
shit is real.
yeah, yeah. It is. It
It,
is.
it,
Right.
it, it, it conspires with you to make, the manifestations come of your needs, your prayers answered.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, it's a real energy because everything on the planet right now, from a mere grain of sand to your hair follicles, is an energy.
Yes.
And second of all, thank you for having me be a part of that Kundalini activation vibration. You and Blue Pill and some other beautiful people who were involved in that. And it was my pleasure to bring the sound and the words to the people. So I am humble. I am a humble servant. I am a humble
Thank you. I'm
teacher and also student as well. Thank you so much for, I'm gonna thank you until
Hey, no problem, Queen. What may I ask? What did Lance Scurv do? What did they suspend his channel for?
they dug up something in the past and
Mm,
said it violated community guidelines. And,
yeah.
it's just like he might pop on tonight. I'm not sure, but I know that you love and respect him as well. And it's reciprocal. And, we're just going to keep on moving. And he's also working on a platform where he can, none of his live shows can be taken down on his landscurve.com platform. And I've been doing it for a while, since last year. He gave me the opportunity to have my own program.
Oh.
However, as a backup, I'm going to start learning, because I have a YouTube channel myself, but I don't know how to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the fact of it is that when you're sincere about things, earth angels come to help you. And I consider you one, Lloyd Strayhorn, Lance, all the people that we know. King Simon is the one who gave me the hookup with the sistren, tonight's guest. And it's just, it's just a beautiful situation that we know as a people that we can come together and work together. And when you're successful, I'm successful at the same way. And the Most High Creator has made enough for everyone. I'm telling you, there's so much opportunities doing the so-called plan, that people are making tons and tons of money. I've been learning about blockchain technology, and I'm a member of this huge this huge company called Hyperfund Global. And people have to realize that if it wasn't for blockchain technology, you wouldn't be able to have the various coins and cryptocurrency. So this is the company that created that I'm a part of, that is offering memberships to people. So I know I sent you some information, Father Rich. So please look at it. They have Bitcoin Rodney. I don't know if you ever heard of Bitcoin Rodney before. He's a multimillionaire through this hyperfund technology, and of course cryptocurrency and whatnot. So this is a time, brothers and sisters, for you to learn, to unlearn, to relearn that there is a creator, there is an omnipresence that wants to equal the financial playing field of everyday people, because we know that we're not getting it from the capital B's. They're not giving us, we have our money in there, but it's not worth it to have your funds just sitting there.
Kufunya, shout out to Aquarius Maximus.
Oh yes.
Drop coin. It shot up and went up 3,000%.
What?
This past week, yeah, it went up 3,000. I think
Guap coin.
It went up to about $5. Yeah, it just skyrocketed up. I had the sister. The sister was the first guest on my show of this year.
Yeah, so
and yeah, exactly. You seen it, yeah. And I told everybody that I got a good feeling about the sister. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to bring on the show the top of the year, but she's doing good. So Aquarius Maximus, shout out to you.
Shout out to Star.
Yeah, and everything that you're doing, Queen. All right.
Oh, yes,
where's your guest at? Where Liana at? Because I'm gonna let you get started.
I don't know where she went.
Okay. All right, good. All right, we can't hear you.
Oh, I didn't realize I wanted to let you guys talk, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, no. And shout out to Billy Carson. Man. You have to get this book. And he also had a few things on sale that I bought. I think something about some liquid gold and some other things that he had. So shout out to Billy Carson. Shout out to all the people who watch me on the Lance Scurv live platform. Shout out to Lance Scurv. Shout out to Lily Vegan and all that whole crew, Ella G, Love and Light. And once again, I give thanks and praise to number one, King Simon, for hooking me up with Liana. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Liana. It's both is fine.
Yes. And I had the opportunity to see you on King Simon's platform. And I said, oh, no, this is Women's Her Story Month.
Yeah.
And tonight we're going to talk about sharing your gifts and your story on how you came to write this beautiful book. And the Most High downloaded a acronym for me to say, or a saying, and says, heal a woman, you heal a community. Heal a woman, you heal a nation.
Yes.
Heal a woman to heal the world.
Yes.
That's what the Most High downloaded for me today. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome our beloved sister, Liana. How are you this evening, my sister?
I'm great. How are you?
I am thankful that you're here. Remember,
I'm grateful.
we were going like,
I know. I'm grateful to be here. I know. I didn't know if it was going to happen just because you said your YouTube is down. So I was like, it's fine if you want to postpone it. I understand. So I'm glad that we were able to actually, get in here and make it work and actually, have this discussion.
Yeah, because the thing of it is like, I do have a YouTube channel, but it's not really activated. So people, who are listening to me today, please go to Kufunya Ife. It's on YouTube. I only have 98 subscribers, but I'm going to be uploading.
Hey, that's better than 0.
Yeah. I'm going to be uploading my past YouTube programs, and also going to be also on both channels, the Lance Scurv Live and my own channel as well. And a shout out to King Simon for, making this link possible. It wouldn't be possible without him. And just give thanks. So, sister, do you have your book in front of you? Do you have your book?
It's like, I'll be right back. It's like right on.
Okay, go ahead. I'll keep talking.
Okay, I can go get it. 1 second.
Yeah. So I want to also, we're going to be talking about health and wellness. And because the name of my program on the Lance Scurv Live is called Reclaiming Your Health and Wellness Now. And that will be the same topic on my Kufunya Ife YouTube channel. And I just wanted to share this with people, how emotions affect our body system. And I'm just going to read it. And so you'll take accountability of how you feel, because your emotions affect every atom in your body. Anger weakens your liver, grief weakens your lungs, worries weakens your stomach, stress weakens your brain and your heart, and fear weakens your kidneys. What do you say about that, my sister?
I actually just did a post on Alkaline Prep about that, I think a few weeks ago, and because it is so true. And most people don't realize how it's not just now the physical aspect of, nutrition and what you eat, of course, plays a role on how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but when you experience these emotions, they can cause illness as well. So one of the biggest things that people don't realize that can cause so many diseases is stress, because these emotions affect the hormone levels within your body, and everything is connected, especially your nervous system. And so once you heal your nervous system, you can heal a lot of other things that you have been feeling. So I work with people who have anxiety, and they think that some have thought that they just needed to go see a psychiatrist. And my thing is no, because the psychiatrists, they prescribe prescriptions
Yes.
to try to deal with their anxiety when that is unnecessary. And it never actually gets to the root cause of the problem. And so typically it is a nervous system issue for those who have anxiety. And the thing about it is we have to heal the nervous system and heal and create a balance of hormones with whether if it's skyrocketing cortisol levels. And it just starts from there, of getting to the root cause of the issue and fixing that, so you no longer have anxiety, you no longer are stressed out, and we fix your stress levels and things of that nature. So I totally agree with that. They play a huge part on illnesses, and they can weaken the organs based off of how you feel.
Yes.
Meditation is really huge. I know a lot of people don't think that, but meditation, along with good nutrition, an exercise routine, and those are the really three pillars for healing the mind, body, and spirit. And we kind of dive into that a little bit in this book, Healing Thyself. And myself and Dr. Ali Muhammad, we really go into deep on the whole basis of healing. So
That's beautiful. And like when I saw the program, I was saying, oh man, they did an advanced study on healing the entire body system. So when did you realize that you wanted to be a writer, or what sparked you to get into this area? Because I know that you're a holistic health and wellness practitioner. I know that you're a holistic coach, and you also deal with nutrition as well. So can you just elaborate to the audience? First of all, when did you realize that you want to be a writer, and what sparked this whole, this whole journey of this wonderful book that you have released to the universe and to planet Earth for our healing?
yes. So to give you a backstory, I
Yes.
come from marketing and public relations. And so that's what my initial degree was in. So I've always loved writing. I always loved communication. That was really my niche, until I was realizing that I was all my studying and research after work or on the side was holistic health. And that would be, my main interest. And of course, I would self-educate myself with the marketing and PR side. But my true, like, what I did with just, without having to feel like I need to do it, it was just calling to me, was holistic health. And so it kind of just ties together. So when Dr. Ali and I got together, we had said, so he had been kind of like my mentor for the past few years when I was doing my self-education and just, teaching myself and doing a lot of research studies. I had learned a lot from him anyway. So we had, developed a really great relationship, just to be able to learn and bounce things off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think. And so it happened around a little bit early last year, where I was creating meal plans for different illnesses. And it was the goal was really I was really just helping my family and friends with different illnesses that they had. And during that same time, I had gone back to school for holistic health. So it kind of like meshed up all together. So I was taking what I was learning in school, taking things of what I, self-educated myself with, and I brought it to him to look over, and he was like, everything looks great. And then another issue that came about was how people were thinking that they can just take a certain pill to get rid of their disease. And so they like, oh, if I take these herbal, pills that, or these herbal remedies, I can heal myself. Now, that is only half the issue.
Yes.
And I discovered that with my mom. She had been taking a bunch of different things for her high blood pressure, and she was having kidney issues. And she came to visit me. She now lives in California, but she came to visit me. And on the plane, her knees and ankles were just blown up. And I'm like,
wow.
oh my gosh, Mom, we need to do something about this. And she's like, well, I take this and I take that. And I'm like,
No.
okay, clearly that's not going to do it. You need to change your eating habits. And she's like, well, I don't eat too bad. Like I eat fish and I eat, my salads and things of that nature. And it's like, okay, it's something in there that you're not telling me that you're eating that is terrible for you. So let me create you a plan. And so it started off like that. And then, like I said, Dr. Ali and I got together, and he was having people come to him about different healing methods as well. And since I specialize in nutrition, we thought we'd get together and use his herbal remedies that he uses to heal his clients and put them together, because that was the missing key. That a lot of people thought that they could just take those certain herbal remedies and that they would be healed, but yet they were still eating the same things. They were still eating a diet high in meat, dairy, fried foods, and it was just like, it wasn't working. So when we needed a solution to really help people heal, and that could also be more affordable, because Dr. Ali would like to get a consultation with him and to actually heal, and to even get his herbal remedies was out of reach for most people. So with the book, we tried to find a middle ground where they're getting access to all of his herbal remedies, but also getting dozens of nutritional meal plans to follow to heal themselves from whatever disease that they have. So to have all that at the hands of, just have the book at your hands and be able to heal yourself at home, heal your family, heal your friends. That is what we needed and feel like it was needed for people.
Well, I tell you, I, again, was very, very impressed with the interview that you did on King Simon's program. So I'd like to ask you, how long, did it take you to write the book? And does the book also come in PDF as well, where people are able to get the information from the book as well?
Absolutely. And that was the biggest thing that for me, I was like, when Dr. Ali said we need to write a book about this, and I'm like, I honestly initially didn't think that people still wanted like hard copy books, even though I know it's necessary. And so I was thinking just ebook, because I know we're in the digital age. So yes, we do have an ebook copy that you can get on readtoheal.com. And it's almost half the price of the physical copy. The physical copy is meant to last generations.
Wow.
And that was the reason. Well, some people think that the book is really expensive, and it's like, this book costs a lot to produce.
I'm sure
it is not, it's not the average book. I wanted it to make sure that it can withstand the test of time. And be here for our grandchildren and children and generations to come when we're no longer here.
Yes.
And what I found is, I remember my mom was saying, oh yeah, like my grandma would have, different remedies and stuff, but she forgot, and they had written it down and things of that nature, and it got torn apart, lost, and things of that nature. When you move and, people pass away, you move their stuff, and so it got lost. And so it's like, okay, we need something sturdy that can last generations and generations, and that was the reason why we, we're very specific with how the book was produced. And I had never actually published a book before myself. I have a bunch of different writings, bunch of different guides, but I've never had a physical copy.
Wow.
But I knew I could do it.
Yes.
So I took it up a challenge. I felt like it was nothing that I couldn't teach myself.
Yes.
And it took some time. It took probably, I would say, almost a year. So the hardest part was really coming up with the plans
Yes.
but I had did that. Remember, I had did all those plans, the nutritional meal plans, like, prior to even the book coming about. So that was probably the longest part, and the hardest part. After that, it was just really taking the time every single day, spending at least 8 hours on the book, and staying up till 4 a.m. every night to get it done,
Wow.
because we kind of had I kind of had a time that I wanted for it to be
Complete.
done, to be completed.
Yes.
So it was a lot of sleepless nights, and I just knew it would be worth it, because I knew this is what our people needed to heal themselves. So I was just like, knowing that this was needed, and knowing how beneficial it was, I didn't care how long it would take. I changed my workout schedule, and was, not working out as much, made it just 30-minute workouts every day instead of the usual hour so that I would do. But I knew that it would pay off, that once people had this book in their hands, it will be worth it. And just
I'm
seeing
telling
people's
you.
feedback, and getting messages of how people are healing themselves, it really is like, it makes me smile, and really makes me smile to see our people really healing themselves. And what surprised me, it was mostly men. It was mostly men
Oh,
that was,
wow.
yes, the majority of people who bought this book were men wanting to heal themselves and their families. And
That's
a
a
lot of them
beautiful
were health
thing.
coaches as well, so they wanted to have this book to heal their clients. And they would ask questions like, is it okay if I use this book to heal my clients? And I'm like, yes, this is exactly what this book is for, to heal, like, the heal your community. And whether you profit of it or not, you're still healing people, and you're still doing the job that just Dr. Ali and I cannot do by ourselves. So
Exactly.
the goal is to give the power back to our people, so they can be healing their communities
For
and heal
sure.
themselves. So they don't feel like they need to come see a holistic health practitioner. They don't need to see a naturopathic doctor. They don't need to go to the hospital if they don't need to, with these degenerative diseases that they have on hand. All they need is the power of the information that is within this book, which is why we created the site readtoheal.com, because you're really just reading and knowing what information and what foods you need to eat to heal our bodies, our specific genotype. And that was most important.
Well, the thing of it is that you're right in alignment with all the sacred texts that say, let food be your medicine and your medicine be your food.
Yes.
And I was going to go in moving forward about the supplements that you and Dr. Ali was speaking about. And they're plant-based. Is that my understanding? They're plant-based food supplements to bring the body into alignment. Can you speak on that?
Exactly. So yes, Dr. Ali was able to provide his proprietary formulas that he used for his own clients, and give us access to it. So the it's not like some random chemicals that's putting together to, create this prescription pill. It's natural herbs, it's natural plants that is creating these remedies. They're just made in a tincture form. They're made in a
Yes.
powdered form for you to be able to actually use as a supplement. So
That's that. Listen, the fact that you are uh, an empress, that has, you have people who are like what they call like an old spirit, so to speak, to come up with these various different remedies to help our people, because we know that within this society, they pray and they get rich off of our sickness. And it,
yeah,
like you're saying, it's time for us to really fully take our power back. And
yes,
yes, allopathic medicine has its place. Like, for instance, God forbid, if you're in a car accident or if you break a leg or what have you,
exactly,
definitely, you want to be taken to someone who is skilled in surgery and whatnot. But for the mere
absolutely,
fact, for everyday living, I don't think it's a good resolve, because a lot of the formulations or the chemistry that they're given in pharmaceuticals actually do not heal the body. They actually hurt the body more than than people realize.
Exactly.
And they want those people in that particular practice, thanks to the Rockefellers, who kind of like eliminated the natural way of living
Mm-hmm.
to feed upon our people. Knowledge is power, but if you don't
Absolutely.
implement that knowledge to heal yourself, who are you to blame?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you already answered one of my questions. Do you hear from your readers much, and what do they say? And you already answered that to me already.
Yes, I love the messages. Everyone is just saying how amazing the book is. One lady just reached out to me and she said that she lost 7 pounds doing the Hillel formula, and I told her, that was complete waste that needed to get out of her body. But she wanted to learn how to, get, a little bit more healthy weight back. So I, gave her some recommendations for that. And she is just thrilled. I have some other people who people are healing their entire families. One man said, like,
Beautiful.
I'm healing myself, my girlfriend, my mama, my auntie. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, guys. This is exactly what we wanted to hear. This is exactly what we wanted you to do. And I don't mind the questions when people DM me or email and ask certain questions about, like, oh, can I use this for this? And it shows me that you're actually putting this information to use, instead of just having it on your bookshelf and never, actually using it, knowing you have these illnesses, knowing that you have to change your diet, but don't want to do it, and that's a big thing. Most people can read, but they don't never actually do the work. They never actually take action to heal themselves. So but I'm for the majority, like I said, they have been reaching out, and I can tell that they're on their way to healing. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I wanted to find out what was one of the most surprising things that you learned when you were on this journey and creating this marvelous energy to help people heal their, themselves. Excuse me.
I think the most miraculous thing about it is knowing how food is really information. Now, we might have heard that, but when you actually know what that, like, for instance, let's say wild blueberries, and I did a post about this on my page, Alkaline Vegan Prep. And when the miraculous power of blueberries themselves, they, once you actually know what it can do for you, it makes the power of healing even much greater. So it's like when you know the intention of the food that you're eating versus just eating it like, I'm just gonna eat this, put these blueberries in there. But when you actually know what it's doing in your body, it
Mm.
actually goes into your cells, into your DNA, and actually tries to repair it even at a greater. I think it was like, I don't remember the amount. I must say 10 times. It says 10 times more powerful to heal your body when you actually have the intention of what it's doing for you within you. So that's why within the book, I try to have, and I'm not just giving you recipes. I want you to know
Right.
why these specific ingredients were used. So we have a subheader above each book, above each recipe, that tells you the importance of the why you're having this in this recipe. So we might have, let's see, zucchini will tell you, like, the vitamins and minerals and the health benefits of why it's in, maybe in the diabetes one, or for pre-diabetic, passion fruit has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity. So we tell you the reason why we have these certain foods in your meal plan, so you're setting the intention when you consume it and digest it,
Absolutely.
that is actually doing the healing that it needs to do. So I think that was the most powerful thing I learned, is that the intention behind each ingredient that you include in the meal plan. And I wanted to share with other people, so they're not just like, oh, I'm just eating this because they said it. You know why we're recommending this specific food for our bodies and for our specific genotype.
Yeah, because we know that when you set the intention while you're eating, you know that the foods that you're eating is actually, like you're saying, helping your cells, your blood circulation,
Mm-hmm.
your mind, body, and spirit. It's very, very. That, listen, sister, you have it. You have it. Um, and you talked about where where you got your information for the book by doing your due diligence, which is important, especially dealing with our people, because we have like emotional eating, which is a big part of you know the chemicals that are
Yeah.
in the so-called food. Can you
Yeah.
speak a little bit on the effects of emotional eating and how that can be circumvented?
Yeah, so I was actually one of those people who emotionally ate. When I was in a place that I was unhappy. So, mind you, I love marketing and PR. I love marketing, but I was at a very stressful job and I stress ate. And I knew it wasn't, the healthy thing to do. But when certain chemicals that is released in your body, specifically, especially when stressed and your cortisol levels are high, your body is wanting something salty, your body is needing something different. Minerals, it's really actually minerals that your body is needing to help bring the cortisol levels back down, so you reach for something salty. My thing was nuts. Like, I loved a salty, or just even if it was unsalty, something like just that had that crunch to it. And so, what a lot of people need, and I tell my clients this, when you are cravings, when you are craving something sweet, when you're craving something salty, it's really your body telling you the minerals that you are missing. It's telling you things that not you might not even miss it, but it is actually needed to help elevate your cortisol levels. It's actually needed to elevate and balance your hormones. And so, instead of reaching for something salty that's like chips and things like that, reach for some seaweed snacks. And that's what I tell my clients to do now. You might be in need of iodine. If you're wanting something sweet, instead of reaching for candy or sugary ice cream, things like that, to help, for what you feel like will help make you feel better, you fruit. Your glucose levels is lowering. So now you need some healthy fruit sugars to help balance that for your brain, and just for your body, because we run off of, that's our preferred energy source. So I think that was your question. I'm sorry, I kind of feel like I went
No,
off
it's
on
okay.
a
Expound,
tangent. But the addicting chemicals that is in the food makes you feel like it makes you feel like it is solving the problem. So, like I said, when you're sad or feeling depressed and you want to reach for ice cream, or I know a lot of people, they eat a lot of cheese, and it's the addicting compounds that is within those foods, especially junk food, that makes you feel like you crave it and makes you feel like it's satisfying you because it's releasing dopamine. But that you can get those same dopamine releases from healthy foods, but most people only know to resort to what they've always known. So I think the biggest thing is just learning what your body needs when it needs it. And I feel like the misinformation, or just the not being able to know these things, is what kind of keeps our people back. Because, like I said, when I go back to why I started this, it was my family and my
Yes.
friends. It was like people didn't know these things. So that's why we say read to heal, because the information is really in books, to really learn, like, what you need for your body, especially.
Especially for melanated people, because we do have a different system with because of the melanin that we have.
Exactly.
And also, I'm a student and graduate of Dr. Loyola Africa, and he also speaks on, like, if you want crunchy food, is something to do with your nerves,
Yes.
or some of the things that you were talking about, the salt. When you're craving salty things, it has something to do with a particular situation that you need to have in your body. And your body is always talking to you. Like, for instance,
Yes.
when I'm feeling like I want something sweet or something, I'll grab a date,
Yes.
or I'll grab a fig, or some fruits, or a banana, or some nuts,
To fulfill that need
to fill that need,
in a healthy way.
in a healthy way. And I wanted to ask you about water, because I drink structured water, and how much water do you recommend people to drink?
I would just say a lot of people feel like you need to drink, and this is, I used to believe this too when I strictly followed the Dr. Sebi plan when I first got into it. And they say you need to drink a gallon of water a day. And that is honestly entirely too much, because it's not even putting into account what size you are. I'm 5'2" and like I don't like 130 something pounds. So it's like that is too much. That's actually too much water for my body frame, and which is why a lot of people are like, oh, I'm bloated. I don't know, I'm just so bloated drinking all this water. And really, you just have to once again listen to your body. Your body will tell you how much water you need. A lot of people are not walking around here dehydrated. The biggest thing I actually did notice though is when a lot of people feel like they're hungry all the time, they're really just thirsty. So I wouldn't even say like, oh, here's an exact amount that you need, because for me, I eat a lot of fruit, so I get a lot of my water from the fruits itself, because that's the most hydrating water that you can get for your body. And then I just say,
That's what that I'm sorry for interrupting, but that
oh
was
no,
like Doc, what's his name, Latham, the one who does the raw food. He said you don't have to drink all that water. You can get water from fruits and vegetables. It doesn't
yeah,
necessarily have to be a liquid
yep.
uh form. Go ahead, carry on. Sorry, sister. Go
No,
ahead.
no,
Uh-huh.
that is so true. So that is like going to be the most hydrating water that your body needs more than anything. And like I said, it all, I can't say like, oh, this person needs to drink 64 ounces of water a day. And I used to be that way when I first got into this, until I learned more about just everyone is different. Like for me, I'm more active, so I need more water than other people. So I can't say I need 64 ounces, and I'm working out, sometimes twice a day, and I need more. So I think the biggest thing is just make sure you're getting the majority of your hydration from fresh fruits and vegetables. And then like
Yes,
in between,
supplement.
yep. And then in between meals, you drink, natural spring water.
And what about coconut water?
That's another great water that I drink. That is the most hydrating. So you won't need as much water when you're actually getting, the more hydrating water that is from fruits, vegetables, and coconut, which is, as well as a natural, a food.
Yes. I there's so many things popping in my in my mind. I want to go to the first thing uh in my mind before I go to how the different organs affect your blood pressure, especially when you don't know that you might think you'll be having hypertension, but in actuality, there's certain organs out of alignment. So
Balance.
before
Yeah.
I go to that, you were talking about the oils. Let's talk about the different oils that we should use or we should not use for
Yep.
our particular type.
Yep. So in this book, I think we actually have like a specific page just for that. And let's see.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and support the channel. Brother Rich, I think his Cash App is in there. And also support this beautiful, beautiful sister and the brother who created a Bible for our quantum leap into health and wellness now. Right now, we're reclaiming our health and wellness this particular pandemic has allowed people to stop and really look at themselves, to reset themselves, to unlearn, to relearn. So we shouldn't be leaving the earth at these early ages. I mean,
Absolutely not.
we should not be. I had the opportunity to work with Bernardo Lapallo, who transitioned when he was 114 years young.
Wow.
And if you ever looked at him, you wouldn't even think he's like that. Growing. He grew to 114 like a tree. You know what I'm saying? And he would talk about, he would eat natural fruits and everything. And he was taught from his dad, who was a doctor from Brazil, about herbs and different foods and whatnot. And it was just a pleasure to know that longevity is within our reach once we give the body the proper nutriments and our minds are right as well. Because it's not just the food, it's how we think about ourselves, how we treat other people. It's a holistic thing. It's not just one thing, because I've met some people who were vegan who were not very nice.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
Seriously.
No, they're not doing the internal work. They're not doing the shadow work. They're not doing the introspection. And
yes.
That's why I feel like I say it's holistic as a whole, because it's not just one aspect that you need to heal. We have to do a lot of continuously healing in our mind and spirit as well.
Yes.
And it stems from, like I said, it stems from generations that we have to do healing from, because it transmits, through our DNA, the trauma that, our ancestors have may experienced. And I was actually just talking to my mom last night about that. And it was, and doing releasing rituals to release all of that trauma.
Yes.
And she started to tell me a lot of the things I didn't even know, a lot of traumatic events. And I made sure to release that when I did my ritual last night.
Oh, yes.
It was no coincidence. I don't believe the coincidence that she told me that story, those stories. It was like, this was needed for you to release it. And it was during this new moon in Pisces. It's like people always want to manifest so much, but they're not wanting to do the releasing of the traumas, to be in alignment to actually manifest.
And to get it out of your cells, because they are embedded in your cells. And I've been doing a lot of releasing, and that helps. Like during meditation, these things come up in your mind and you said, but wait a minute, I thought I dealt with that already.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But no, you gotta go ahead, sister, speak on it.
No, I felt that to another level. I felt that to another level when you just said that. Like, really, oh my God, because that literally happens. It is such a beautiful thing that the power of healing, that's all I gotta say. Because there's things that you don't even know that you need to heal from.
And then knowing that there's a divine presence within you that knows every aspect about you.
Yes.
And you have the power to ask that divine presence to remove these things, because you cannot live in the future living through your past.
Absolutely.
You can't. In order to go into the quantum field of infinite possibilities, it's about now.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Present moment.
I'm telling you, sister.
I didn't even know we were going to discuss this, but I think it's honestly needed.
It's part of it.
And I love that we're on the same wavelength of knowing these things and be able to teach our people these things of all the different elements and that you need to heal from. And I think that is honestly, the mind and spirit is one of the biggest things besides the physical. It all, like I said, it all goes hand in hand. It all goes hand in hand.
Because you can create your own reality. Let me tell you, when they used to have this commercial, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Do you remember that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get it at the time because they aligned it with education.
Yep.
But education is in all levels. It's like metaphysical. And sister, I am so happy in a way that this particular situation that we're in is helping people realize to come into their spiritual aspect of
Yes.
themselves, because everything happens in the spiritual world before it happens in the physical world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ashe.
Ashe. And and like I said, the mind is so powerful. So that's why we kind of we don't go into depth, but we let you know that you have your thoughts need to be in alignment with you healing. And
I'm
that's why
telling
when you know the certain foods that is going to help heal you, that's in your mind. So you're knowing innately what that food is doing to your body and your cells to heal, and it just speeds up the healing much faster once you know and once you set that intention of what it to do.
And like when you get negativity is another thing. Is if I respond to you in a negative way, is that loving to me,
Right.
or is that going to hurt me?
Exactly.
So you decide, what you're going to be vesting in, because your energy is the most important factor, because that energy can create things that you don't want to necessarily experience. So if I get a negative thought, and sometimes it's not even my own thought, because we are antennas.
Absolutely.
And we pick up certain frequencies and everything, and that's why I don't watch the news.
Yep, same. Never goes on. My mom gets annoyed with me, like, you never know what really goes on because you don't watch the news. I'm like, I don't need that negativity in my life. I don't need that fear-mongering energy in my life.
I'm telling you, like my partner, when I go into his car, he'll put on 1010 News, and I say, do we really have to listen to this?
But listen, it's good to have people in your life that do. If you don't want to be involved, it's good to have people in your life who do, because they keep you abreast on the important things. That
yes, they do. They do. They say, Kufunya, you got to know what's going on.
That's how my mom is, and I said that's what I have you for, to keep me abreast.
Right, to keep me abreast, but I don't necessarily have to listen
I don't
to
need
that,
to
because that's really poison. That's poisoning it's lowering our immune system, number one.
Yep.
It's lowering the immune system. And number two, that energy is coming into your aura, your space. And is that loving to you by listening to, the so-called propaganda?
Right. I gotta whisper it. Don't want YouTube blocking. Start
Right,
saying words, trigger words. Ban this show. Just kidding. That won't happen.
Yeah, so I wanted to, we talked about the coconut water.
Yeah, so I've had this in my hand this whole time we were talking, but
okay, so go ahead.
I didn't want to stop because that's seriously such an important aspect that to healing that people seem to overlook. Like I said, people think that they can just heal themselves with just herbs and even nutrition, and it's like you need to heal your spirit as well, and your thoughts and your mind, because that's where the true healing comes in. When you're in alignment, when your thoughts are in alignment with the things that you're eating, the things that you're consuming, and your environment as well. Yeah, it needs to all be in alignment for true healing. So in this book, we have the healing nutritional guide, and so we go over foods that you should avoid and things that you that you should consume. And so right here on this line, and we know a lot of people and just restaurants in general, they use canola oil, or they use or they might use safflower oil. And that's when you go to restaurants, and this is funny. At every restaurant, if I'm this is back when I was eating more out at restaurants, I would ask, like, okay, what is this cooked in? What are your vegetables? What do you cook sauteing these vegetables in? What oil are you using? Most of the times they don't know. Then when they do find out, they say it's canola oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, all the oils that is actually not healthy for you. Mm-hmm. And so it's like you should pass when you hear that. But so we recommend to use avocado, grapeseed, or olive oil as a substitute. It is not as damaging, of course, as the GMO canola oil. And then it's other oils that I've noticed that people use as well. But the biggest thing is to use little oil as possible in your diet. I don't even cook with oil. I do not cook with oil. If I'm making food for other people who want certain things, I might, but I let them know, like, I think it's important to educate people of why you don't do certain things, so they don't just think that you're like this health freak. Because the thing about it is, like, they're like, oh, you're just too, some people could think you're just too strict about certain things, but it's not. I'm actually much less strict than I used to be, just following the strict Dr. Sebi diet, which is, like I said, it's really good guidance for people who are just beginning, which is why I created Alkaline Vegan Prep, to really help people who are transitioning and want to eat healthier. However, it goes beyond that. But what I was going to say is the oils can cause so much health issues that people don't even realize. And so this is why, even when I speak to my alkaline vegans, and when I speak to my other, vegans and plant-based people who are using just so many oils, and that is just high, whether it's high saturated fat or high unsaturated fat, it actually still can clog the arteries because it's a fat. And our bodies, if you just think of what any oil does, like it clogs things. And so it will clog the arteries, and it will clog the blood vessels, where for people who do have high blood pressure, it's actually putting more pressure for the blood to get through. And so these medications, they try to give you blood thinners, and that's pretty much what they is. And that's not getting to the solution.
To the root.
It's not getting, yeah, exactly. It's not getting to the root, and it's not providing a solution by saying, oh, just let's thin this blood so it can get through the blood vessel. No, that's you're still gonna have to continue taking those blood thinners, and then eventually you're gonna cause even more issues. So what we do is get to the root, and it's like, okay, why is your blood having a hard time getting through the vessel? And it could be due to it is just too much fat. So the fat is a blockage. And this also goes into diabetes. When people feel like they can't eat fruit, I hear so many people say, like, oh, I can't eat fruit. I can't eat those fruits, too much sugar and things like that. And the fruit is not the issue.
Right.
It's all the fats. It's all the freaking fats that people are eating. And it's the high fat diet and the high protein diet is actually killing so many people. And they tell you need so much protein for this, and you need to eat the fats. The ketogenic diet, that is probably honestly one of the worst diets that is for our people, at least for our people. I don't know. I can't really speak for other people. For our people, that is probably the most unhealthy diet for us, because what you're doing is you might lose weight now, but it's going to cause issues later down the line, because it's just way too much fat for our body to process. So then you start having issues with your body producing bile. You start having issues with the gallbladder. You start having liver issues. You have a sluggish liver. Your body is not able to process all of that fat, and it is not able to break it down. And so, and I say high protein because high protein is essentially high fat. Even with chicken, and people say like, oh, well, I eat, or beef, or
I take the skin off the chicken.
Yeah. Okay. But listen, that's what people, so that's what we used to do too. We hear like, okay, the skin is probably like the worst part, but what actually is happening is the fat is intertwined within the meat itself. You can't really disassociate it. Even if you're eating lean meats, you can't really dissociate the fat that is intertwined within the meat itself. So you think you're having a high protein meal, you're still having a high fat meal as well.
And the adrenaline that goes in when the animals are being
killed.
Yeah.
So it's just the exchange of energy. And so that's exactly what we're talking about, even just exchanging energy with someone who is negative. If we choose to engage in that conversation, we're transferring that energy to us. And then especially depending on how we respond. So when eating these foods, it's really the exchange of energy that we're consuming. And so however they felt, like you said, the adrenaline, the fear, a lot of people, might have bipolarism, and it could be due to what they're consuming as well, because there is your hormones, and then you're taking on their hormones that, that they were feeling, and the levels that they had within them when they were killed and passed away. So the fear, the anxiety, all those things that animal was feeling now just transferred to you. So.
A few people came in late, so I wanted you to just go over the oils that we should be working with, as for preparing.
Yep. So like I said, that if you are to use oils, the best one to me, we give you a few different oils that you can use, but the best one I would say is avocado oil. And then the second one after that, it would be grapeseed oil. And I wouldn't even go past those two. Honestly, the only oil that I have in my home is avocado oil. If I was to use it, that, like I said, I just stick with the best. And I prefer that better than even the grapeseed oil as well. So making sure that it's organic, that it's not refined, it's cold pressed. The way
Yes.
that it's manufactured also makes a difference. So it's not um, actually extracted in an unhealthy way itself. So if you have to choose, just go with avocado.
And coconut oil is probably the last, unless
Yep,
it's cold pressed.
coconut oil will be the last. If you do, like I said, that is just really, really high in fat. So okay, so let me just say this, and this is kind of how besides like me learning about it, this is kind of how you can tell that is not the best for it to be consuming either. It solidifies, you know, after I forgot what degrees it is. But just think about it, in the wintertime when you have the coconut oil, it solidifies. In the summer, is just pure liquid.
Yeah.
So it can solidify, it clogs things. Just think about that thick coconut oil clogging your arteries. So that's why I honestly would say, I used to cook with it too. When I used to make
Me
certain
too.
dishes. Yep. When I used to make certain dishes, like little cabbage stew, it was just that hint of coconut oil that might have, really just made it like pop, or different coconut curries and things of that nature. And the thing about it is we just need alternatives to what
Yes.
we're used to using. And so instead of using coconut oil for certain things that I used to use, I now use coconut milk. So you want to use things
Ah.
that's like just better. So for instance, for avocado oil, I no longer use avocado oil for different recipes that I make. I use the actual avocado. So
Yes.
that instead of just getting to the real food itself of what you want to use versus the manufactured processed food that they're creating from the original food.
Yes,
So
I.
I think so
Mhm.
that's why I do recommend avocado oil for it to be as the best one that you could use out of all of those, or just getting to the actual food. The thing about it is, with oils, like I said, fried foods I do not recommend consuming, plant-based or not. I know a lot of people who are plant-based and do the fried mushrooms and the fried cauliflower all the time. Now, don't get me wrong, it's okay to have every once in a while, but when I see people having it a part of their meal plan and thinking they're being healthy, having it
Right.
every day, it's not. That's why I don't have any no fried mushrooms, no fried okra, type of meals in the recipe, because I know it's not healing. Is doing the
Right.
opposite of that. But like I said, if you're not in the process of healing, every once in a while, it's definitely fine to have. I treat myself to something like that, once every few couple months,
Yeah.
whatever, when I feel like I want it, but it's not, never would be a staple in my diet.
Y-
It's very unhealthy. So, but like I said, when it comes down to it, I think the biggest advice that I can give people is just to minimize their oils and limit their fats, because that is going to cause issues. If it's not now, it's going to cause issues later down the line.
This is my darling. I am so grateful. I have to keep saying that. I am grateful to
I'm
King
grateful.
Simon. King
I'm grateful
Simon,
for
I'm
him
grateful
too.
to Father Rich, because
Yes.
I knew I had to keep up the momentum, and I'm just very, very thankful. I
Yeah.
have a few more questions, and then someone in the chat asked, where can I get the book? The book is in the chat. King Simon put it down. Do you have a phone number? Do you prefer people to call you or to go to the website?
I prefer just going to readtoheal.com if you want to get the book. If you have any questions about the book, you can email me or message me on Instagram. My email is Liana Hanelle @gmail.com, and then my Instagram is Liana Hanelle. And then let's see, those are probably the best methods to reach out to me directly. If then you can also reach out to info@readtoheal.com too. So it's, we offer many different ways that you can reach out to us about it. Or if you were looking to order it and don't want to go to the site, you can email me at orders@readtoheal.com. So, but like I said, the best way if you want to order the book, go directly to readtoheal.com.
Yes. Somebody's asking about air frying, and we can't get away from frying.
I know it's hard. No, listen, air frying is definitely a better method because you don't need oil to do it.
So so it's a better method.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so that answers your question, Eliza. Air fry is good. Okay,
I
so
just know that some people use oil even when the air fryer, but it's like the air fryer is meant for you to not have to use oil. So please do not use oil if you don't have to. But the air fryer is definitely a better method.
And someone had asked in the chat about, I think, cold press coconut oil. I think they were saying. I used to use coconut oil, but right now I am using virgin olive oil.
Yes.
However,
yes, that's a good one too. So like I said,
yes.
If you're not going to use avocado oil, yes, I would say avocado, then olive, then grapeseed. But I would say actually, yeah, my top two would be avocado, then olive. So yes, those are two great ones to have.
Okay, so I have I think we can cover. This is so beautiful. Thank you, Father Rich. Thank you, King Simon. Thank you, Elena. Raw food. How much percentage of raw food and cooked food or steamed food we should consume?
I would say for if it depends on where you are in your transition.
Yeah.
To eating healthier. So I'm not going to say someone who was normally just on a, standard American diet, eating fried foods, fast food all the time, to just go to, eat like how I do. Like I believe in transition phases, unless that person actually knows they can do it. So ideally, I would say 75% for someone who, 75% raw, should I say?
Okay.
Be specific. And 25% cooked foods. But if it's someone who is just slowly easing into it, try half and half. So,
right.
So what I would do is, so for instance, I practice intermittent fasting, and so my first meal, of course, and that's what, like I said, people always ask, like, do you only eat fruits? Because my Instagram is full of that. Like, no, I eat more than fruits. I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie, okay?
Me too.
Yeah, but just knowing how your body works and how it needs to, what it's going to do with the digestion and how it's going to impact your body and the energy levels that you need to go throughout the day. Anyway, your first meal, of course, should be fruits. To break your fast. And then I have a smoothie or smoothie bowl a little bit shortly after, maybe like a 30 to an hour later. And then so like your first meal, so that's like my first meal, and then my second meal is when I introduced steamed food. So I steam my vegetables. I have a big salad with my steamed vegetables, and then have some like steamed grains as well. So if I'm doing like steaming some quinoa with it, I just add it to it and stir it around. So different things like that. So for dinners in this book as well, we have a ton of like, let me tell you, it's not just gonna be some recipes that's just gonna taste bland. Like I said, I'm a foodie, so it's delicious recipes. We have the soups, we have the different coconut curries, we have a ton of different delicious salads. I think we might even have burgers in here. I can't. Spaghetti. Spaghetti, and it's not using the
traditional. It's using like
pasta
zucchini.
We use the spaghetti squash or the zucchini the zucchini noodles to make it, so it's not filled with starch, and that's gonna obstruct the healing process. So like I said, we have like the pesto pastas and things like that. We're just just changing some of the ingredients that was used to make the traditional recipes. So so the reason why you don't want to have too many foods that are heavily cooked or to high temperatures is because you're not getting the actual nutritional value, all the nutrients that was once in the live living raw food.
Yes.
And so I know a lot of people say like, oh, well, Dr. Sabi says, like, no matter what, like, the food still has this nutritional value. No, it doesn't. How? If you just cook the heck out of it. How?
Yeah, all the
What?
enzymes and everything are out
Yeah.
of it. So I also use steaming
Yeah.
as well, and I eat, more gearing towards the raw and drinking a lot of herbal teas and
Yes.
water and
Yes.
fruits and
Yes.
veggies like that.
That's it. That's it. And of course, like, if you want to have, more cooked foods, like I said, just don't have them all the time. Like, well, I mean, I would say fried foods, but like cooked foods is fine as long as you're, I would say, lightly sauteing, lightly steaming it, boiling it. Like, if you're obviously making wild rice, you got to boil it and things of that nature.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. Or
So
you
just
could sprout it. Some people
Yep.
sprout.
Yes. Yes. So I've done it like that before too. It just takes a long time
Yeah,
because you got to
yeah.
wait 24 hours for it to sprout. So you got to be, but the thing about it is just be mindful. Just be mindful about what you want to consume for the week ahead and prepare that way. That's how I used to do. But like I said, sometimes it's not even necessary. But like I said, the biggest thing is I would say just try to eat predominantly raw. I know a lot of people follow this trend and was like they was raw till 4. Because for me, I practice intermittent fasting. So my first meal isn't usually till after my workouts anyway. So, and it's later in the day. But for people who do eat earlier in the day, they will try to do raw till 4. So they won't have their cooked meals until dinner time. So
Yeah.
they just, do a lot of fruits and smoothies and salads during the day. And when I used to work corporate America, that's what I would do. I would, break my fast still the same way with a fruit or a smoothie, and then have a salad for a little bit later, an hour or two later, and then for dinner, that's when I'd have like a more cooked meal.
I have a couple of questions in the chat. Someone was saying, could you please help with advice for healing post chemotherapy and breast cancer? I don't think that answer we can give an answer like that in the chat, so to speak, during this conversation. But I would think the best thing to do is get in contact with the sister.
Yep.
And book an appointment. But from my perspective, I think if you start eating plant-based, just in a nutshell nugget answer: number 1, get in contact with the sister. Number 2, start transforming and telling your body you want to heal yourself now, and your body will guide you into what you need to do, along with the sister's advanced study in Healing Thyself. Another question was, you can't cook with olive oil. It emits toxins over 230 degrees. Olive oil is for salad dressing or something like that. No, you can answer, but from what I know, there's different levels of olive oil. There's olive oil for sauteing, and there's olive oil for sorry.
No, so
Yeah.
yeah, you're correct. So if you, like I said, olive oil, yes, it's great if you want to just use them for salads. But if you're not frying foods, then you can lightly saute and lightly steam your food in it. It's not going over the smoke point of it. So it's when it comes to frying foods that, like I said, almost any oil is not good to be frying foods, period.
Yeah. Also, thank you, my sister. Also, there was another question. What do you put on skin that looks so good? They want to know, your skin looks so beautiful. What do you
Really?
put
Okay,
on your
I feel like I have
skin?
like this dark mark. I'm not gonna point it out, but I definitely have a dark spot on my face from when I went on vacation and I had to wear a mask, and I had like it. Of course, wearing mask all day when you have to wear it literally all day, and it could cause breakouts because it's just a skin irritation. But so I feel like I have a dark mark. But I use jojoba oil, and I use witch hazel. I use witch hazel as a toner, and then I use jojoba oil as like just a oil, because it's the most resembling same oil as our skin produces. So I found that works best. And then I also use just like a natural homemade face soap, and I do jade rolling. I'm honestly not like a big, it's fine, I'm not really even big into like I would say like skincare like that. It's like I'm like, I feel like I could do better, but I do, you know, do the jade rolling for lymphatic roll, like to get the tissues stimulated and get toxins moving throughout it.
I had my roller here somewhere.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Once I saw it, I was like, oh yes, I need this. I need this. So I just do just really simple things. I like it to keep it the most. Yes. Yes, get that the lymphatics going,
Yeah.
tissues going, and stimulated. So I think the most simple the better. So just like a natural face wash, face soap, and then that's not filled with a bunch of chemicals. Homemade is best. And then
Yes.
just doing like I said, a toner. For me, at least, I like to do that. Witch hazel is in my toner, and then I like to do the jojoba oil after. So real simple.
Jojo Jordan, did she say no fried mushrooms? She said intermittently, not every day. You know,
Yeah. So
everything is in moderation, for real.
yep. And so honestly, I try not to push um the truth upon people too much, but mushrooms are toxic to the body, so they, you know, they're
All
they
mushrooms?
for
All?
for our people, yes. So
Really?
yes, so other, you know, people, they're Eurasians, those are good for them. They like, oh well, this mushroom is, they say it's so good for the Asians. Yes, this the mushroom that they normally use, the lion's mane, and the I forgot what other ones that they love though, that's beneficial for them. And so people, when I like, listen, I used to be on the Dr. Savvy diet too, and until you start to learn more and just educate yourself more of how it really weakens the liver because of the ammonia and the
Wow.
mushrooms. Yep. So
Okay, there's another question in here about eating rice every day. And let me give you two. Eating rice every day. And somebody was talking about grapefruit. Is grapefruit a good fruit to eat? It has a lot of sugar, but I'm addicted. And are there recipes for people who are dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's
okay. Oh,
imbalances?
Alzheimer's. Okay, so let's see. To get to the first question, I think that was about
Eating rice
oh yeah, so eating rice.
every day.
Oh, how would you? Why would you be eating rice every day? I mean, white rice, brown rice, terrible for you. The best rice, if you do want to eat rice, is wild rice. So if you want to eat that every day, yes, that is fine. Go by means, any means like necessary. Like you can eat that every day, but you should not be eating white rice, jasmine rice. Those are not for us. That's not for us melanated people. Just leave the jasmine rice to the Asians. Leave the white rice to them, and even the brown rice. So let's stick to what is
Wild
more.
rice.
Yes, because it's actually not a rice; it's an aquatic grass. So,
Oh, you
yep,
see it
and
there? I didn't
so,
know.
but it's just like a rice. So I love all rice. I eat
Um,
it at least 3 times a week.
oh my God, I can talk to you forever.
I
And
know, I
I
know. Seriously,
we,
especially when we started talking about the spiritual aspect. I was like, I was not expecting you to know all this. I love it. I love it. I thought we was gonna just stick to straight, you know,
no,
nutrition,
because
healing, but
it's the whole body. We're dealing with
absolutely,
mind, body, and spirit.
absolutely,
I'm gonna have you come back on part two. But would you come back and do a part two?
of course, I
Okay.
love you.
Okay. I wanted to cover, you know what? I was personally going through a situation where I wanted to get to the root cause of why my blood pressure kept spiking.
Okay.
What causes the blood pressure to spike? So I had to dig
Mm-hmm.
and ask my doctor, and I had to do my own research
Mm-hmm.
to find out, because I'm not about to be on those things. Okay,
Yes,
we're not going to
yes.
talk about that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I found out that your thyroid can cause spiking,
It's an imbalance.
your adrenals, and kidney function.
Yes.
So
Yep.
a lot of people might not have hypertension, but if their bodies their certain organs are out of alignment, then you need to get those tests checked out.
Absolutely. It impacts so many things when just one thing is out of alignment. And once the kidneys and the liver is out of alignment, which is, the two of the biggest detoxifying organs for our bodies, oh, it causes a array of other health issues, because the liver is like especially the liver, it's like I would say like the God organ in the body, that it does so much for us. And it's telling, the
Yes,
gallbladder to release the bile, and it's, telling the pancreas to secrete, whether it's adrenaline or whether it's, cortisol levels. And so, that's going to affect your adrenal glands. And so that's how all tied together they
it's
are.
all tied. It's
Yep.
all tied together.
And then it ends up affecting your high blood pressure, like you said.
Somebody in the chat said, "Bring her back immediately."
Oh, oh, you guys are great. Seriously.
Yeah, and don't forget to support her efforts, please. Support her efforts. Her information is in the chat, and also support this channel. I mean, Father
Yes.
Rich, didn't have to do what he did, but it's because of the love. And I just want to thank, the brothers. The brothers are Earth Angels as well. And let me see. What is your thought about on pancreatitis and herb health? Book an appointment with the sister. We are, coming to the end of this segment very shortly, where we're going to have Lloyd Strayhorn. You're welcome to stay, sister, for Lloyd Strayhorn, the one who is the genius behind numbers and astro.
Oh,
Yes, he's going to be coming on
I'm gonna have
shortly.
to catch you later. I'm about to get a workout in. But
Oh, okay.
that's definitely my topic. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to miss it. But I'm just gonna have to catch you later. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I did ask about the grapefruit. Did you answer the grapefruit question?
No, so grapefruit is fine, and I like, if you're not on any medications, especially high blood pressure medication, you can do, half to one grapefruit a day. It's fine.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have to come back because the questions are rolling in. Like somebody wants to know what to do with a dry nose because of what.
Oh, because of the mask.
Yeah,
So you just really need more moisture. I think the biggest thing you can actually put, if you want to use coconut oil, you can actually put it within the nostrils. That'll help keep it moist. Or my favorite would be vitamin E oil to put in there, because that's more of a natural, I would say, oil that's more beneficial for the nose, to go within the nose,
and also
and do steaming.
oh,
And
steaming. Let me tell
steaming
you.
is just, and you don't even need a fancy facial steamer. I still haven't even used mine. I bought mine in November. I'm just so used to just like putting like face over the pot.
Yes, and the
That is,
towel, and
yes,
you
it's
just go
so
in.
much easier to do a steam that way than having to
Yes.
plug up other things. I'm just like, the old school method that I've been taught. It's been working for me, so that also helps as well.
Okay. Somebody's saying I'm going to talk until Lloyd comes. I know you have to leave at 9. We got 2 minutes left, but we're definitely going to have you back, whether I am hosting or Father Rich is hosting the program. But we'll definitely have to have you back because health is wealth. I could have,
Truly.
I prefer to have my health more than $1 million. And then
Oh,
if you have your health,
yes.
you can obtain that $1 million.
Absolutely.
Trust and believe.
Like once your vibe, like, listen, that's why like the healing is so important. That's why just getting your body, your mind, your spirit all in alignment to really manifest and go after what you want in life, it makes it so much faster.
Yes.
Just get it, but heal the traumas, do the introspection, do the work, eat healthier. Let's raise your vibration of your spirit to really attain all that is you're meant to have. We're not meant to be in poverty, we're not meant to struggle. So, but what happens is we're out of alignment. And and I was telling my mom this too, when you're out of alignment, you're gonna feel like everything is a fight. You're gonna feel like it's so much obstruction because you are not in alignment with your spirit, your soul's purpose, and your body. This is a temple. We got to take care of it while we're here. We're here for a reason. If we're not taking care of the one vessel that we have that we've been put in here, you're gonna come into contact with some type of struggle,
and you're gonna leave prematurely.
Because that's the biggest thing.
And the thing of it is that there is a God force that lives within us. We just have to tap into it and activate and ask for what you want.
Yes.
Don't have a conflicting spirit of, oh, I want $1 million, but I don't think I'm worthy.
Exactly. And the thing about it is that's the biggest thing. I remember when I was younger, I used to do vision boards. I love vision boards, right? But the biggest thing about it is most people be like, oh yes, I'm gonna have $3 million next year, but it's like, how are you gonna do it? How are you gonna get that $3 million? So you have to have a plan too. So you got to actually take an action, inspired action, and be inspired. It comes from spirit. So once your spirit is in alignment about what you want and actually believing that you want, most people don't even really believe they can get these things. They say it, but they don't really believe it. And they don't believe it because they know they're not doing the work to get what they want. So the call comes down to healing the mind, body, and spirit. And that's what we just ask for you to do with this book of Healing Thyself. You're becoming the healer now. You don't have to go to a healer. You are the healer now once we give you these tools. So that's just the biggest thing.
And the other thing, I have a little card that I hang up, and I'm going to screenshot it and send it to you. It says, only you can heal yourself.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Yes, I'm gonna send that to you. And remember, if you heal a woman, you heal a community. If you heal a woman, you heal a nation. And if you heal a woman, you heal the world.
Yes.
Because we are the first mothers, we are the first teachers, we are everything. And once the woman gets it, and she knows she's the nutritionist, she's the doctor, she's the lawyer, it's done.
Absolutely. And that's why I just say again, like, we have to reclaim our power back.
Yes.
We are the first healers, us women, so we have to take back our power so we can heal our family, so we can heal our community. And once that healing comes about, like, our people will no longer be in bondage. We will no longer be in poverty because we're healing ourselves and we're healing our communities, and we're just prosperous. We're just living, we're living the lives we're supposed to be living and in abundance. And that's how it's supposed to be. But it starts first with us women reclaiming our power to heal ourselves and our families and that in communities. And that it goes from there.
And my sister, we know that women's time is 360 degrees, 365 days, excuse me.
Yeah.
And 360 degrees. Okay. Yeah. Full circle.
Yes.
and we are here to not bash anybody, but we want people to understand that they have the power.
Yes.
Not power over, but the power within to change your reality. Thoughts are things. I never knew that, but thank God that I'm knowing it now.
Yes, same.
And that's the most important thing. And I want to thank you. I know you have to go for your workout. And
thank you so much for having me. It's really
I'm having you back, my sister. and King Simon, thank you.
Yes,
Father
you,
Rich.
Simon.
I'm not sure if Lloyd Strayhorn is in the back of the room are waiting to come in. But sister, I thank you so very much. And please don't
Thank
forget
you.
to support the sister in her efforts. You know, if you are not able to afford the hard copy, get the PDF.
Yep, the ebook is great. You can take it anywhere. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for having me. Thank you, Father Rich. Thank you, King Simon. And thank you for reaching out to me. I'm like, so much love. I'm always amazed at how like loving you guys are and how like hilarious you guys are too. Like I love it. Like you guys are just like so intelligent. You guys are just such beautiful people. So I'm just happy to be a part. So I'm gonna let you start your show. But thank you guys again for having me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we bring in Lloyd Strayhorn. Thank you, my brother, for coming in.
Thank you.
It's just like we're at our other channel.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just energy. It's just energy coming across the board. And that was a very beautiful sister. She has a lot of good information. And with that information, we want to utilize the information, just like you give us information with regards to how we can navigate ourselves through this period that we're in. We're in the Piscean age right now. I mean,
no, we're in the Aquarius age, actually.
Aquarius, okay.
So that means Aquarians will do well, Leos will do well, Geminis will do well, and women. So this is technically the age of women and the age of Aquarius. So, for example, if you look in the Middle East, Kufunya, only last year were women allowed for the first time to go and watch a soccer game at a sports stadium. Only last year or year before that were women allowed for the first time to drive an automobile.
Wow.
Women nowadays would consider you're behind, but in other countries where women's roles was really restricted. But this is literally the rise of women, and women can't be stopped. So men, you know, as Teddy Pendergrass says, 70-30, 60-40, it's going to have to be a 50-50 love. That's how it's going to have to be.
And some say 100.
I know. I know.
Where's Kaya?
She should be coming. She had a little emergency, not of a major way, but she should be coming. She had to drop somebody off, and I think she ran a little behind.
Okay, that's beautiful. I mean, that's beautiful that she's going to be joining us, because it's just like being at our regular station, you know. It's like again, I just want to give out a special shout out to Father Rich for allowing me to do my Monday program on his channel.
Hold on, this is Brother Rich's show?
This is Brother Rich.
That's my buddy. I'm honored to be on his segment. He's got one of the most popular segments. She just logged to say she's logging on now, so she'll be joining in a few minutes.
Okay.
But Brother Rich is one of the most dynamic young brothers, reaching out and raising the community's consciousness about certain things. Like he had JT on, who is a herbologist extraordinary. He's had, of course, blue pill, red pill. He's had Phil Valentine on. He's had Simon on. I mean, it's just, he just runs with it. So to be a part of his outlet like this is an honor. In fact, when I first launched my online course, it was on his platform, believe it or not.
Lloyd,
I'm forever indebted to him.
Let me tell you something. When spirit speaks, you listen. Because our brother, you know, shout out to Lance Scurv for allowing me to have a platform every Monday on my Monday program. You know, it's just like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm not going to panic. There must be a way for me to continue my momentum. Because people look forward to the Monday programming.
Yeah, you got them spoiled.
And the thing of it is that I said, okay, let me call Blue Pill to see if he can host me. He wasn't sure. I said, okay, one love, if you can get in contact with me. And then Spirit said, call Brother Rich. And he just said, are you kidding me, Sister Kufunya? Of course. And I let Brother Lance know. I don't know, he might chime in. I'm not sure. But I gave him the live link to chime in. And I'm just so grateful, number one, to King Simon for letting me be put on to the sister who, sorry, I keep doing that. The sister who, she was just on right before you, and she wanted to stay, but she had something to do. She loves you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so, I'm very grateful. And I keep saying it, you know how I am, Lloyd, on Land's platform. I say the same thing. I am grateful because people could be doing other things. They could be, you know, otherworldly. But the fact of it is when you come in with a certain frequency and a vibration, the heavens and the earth have, it's law. It's
Yeah.
definitely law. And I'm just thankful. And King Simon, you know, is one of your, can I say, proteges?
Yeah, but he's actually my brother, but same thing.
Yes. And he's an author within himself. And we have Sister Kaya.
Hello?
She's another earth angel. And we're going to talk about, you know, what's happening in the cosmos, but a special shout out to everybody in the chat room. You know, I mean, gratitude is the attitude towards abundance.
It is true.
Really, really works. It really, really works. You just have to relax and let the universe do its thing. Welcome, Kaya. We're in Her Story Month.
Welcome. Can you hear me?
How are you?
I'm great. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're on a different channel. We're on Black Magic. Black Magic. Woo! Black Magic 363. You know, we're on this channel, and I am just so humble to be here. So the momentum of what we do every Monday, because Brother Lloyd and Sister Kaya are a part of my programming on Monday, helping people to navigate through the cosmos. So, Kaya, I know Brother Lloyd is going to let you start first because it's Women's Her Story Month. So let's talk a little bit about, before we get into what's happening in the cosmos, let's talk about how you got involved with this science.
Yeah. So for me, as a little girl, I always been into numbers as part as like license plate number, people's birthday, and their zodiac sign as well. And my thing was always, I grew up around a lot of older people, so I had kind of got, you know, an insight of people of their relationship. So to me, it's like everybody was growing up, we're having issues. I'm like, why everybody always have issues in a relationship? So it just started me understanding what was their zodiac sign. Now I didn't look into the zodiac signs then, but I was just asking them what's their sign, what's their birthday. Didn't know what I was doing until later on in life. My mother's friends start asking me to play her lottery. I'm like,
Ooh.
yeah, I'm only 15 years old. You want me to go to the store and play your lottery? Okay. So I want to start playing her lottery. I'm like, well, how does this work? So I start playing her numbers for her, like pick a number, 4 digits, 3 digits. So I start playing her numbers for her, and I got really intrigued about the numbers and how you play them. So I researched lottery. You know, I researched it, and I noticed to me that there's a sequence and there's a pattern and the numbers. So if you can find the sequence and pattern, then you pretty much can win whatever you want to win. So it wasn't until I was at work dealing with my numbers, and people know when I'm studying them numbers, they don't ask me questions. They don't say, "Oh, Kaya and her numbers." So I'm like, so I was talking to a coworker of mine named Marvin, and Marvin said, you know, Kaya, you got something special with these numbers. I think you need to look into numerology, do some research in it. I'm like, Marvin, what the heck is numerology? So I researched it, and I looked at numerology, and it was so intrigued to me that I really just gravitated so quick. And then you went on YouTube and started looking up numerology. And then first it was King Simon. And I laugh at this guy, King Simon. He's like, you gotta get this book. You gotta get this book. I'm like, well, hold on, pause. Who was the person on the name of the book? So it said Lloyd Strayhorn. So I bought Lloyd's book. I purchased all his book. I read all his book. And then I booked a reading with him. And that's how I came into numerology with Lloyd. And that's how we started our connection.
That's beautiful. So we know, Brother Lloyd, that even though it's Her Stories Month, we still have to bring the divine masculine in to round it out. You know that.
Yes.
And how did you, for those who do not know Brother Lloyd, although he's world renowned all over the world, there's still some people that don't know about you. So how did you come about, getting into this science?
Well, actually, when I was growing up, especially in junior high and high school, I was very, very shy, very, very bashful. And I didn't know how to approach the girls. Then, that's very important at that stage, okay? The books wasn't doing nothing compared to the way the girls were looking, all right?
Oh.
And so what happened is I came across this thing of astrology. So being an Aquarius, I read everything I could on my sign. All the positives, the not so good, things like that, the famous people, celebrities, bad guys, all that stuff. But I found out in the course of my research that everybody wanted to know about their zodiac sign. So then what happened, so I started leaning into astrology and went very deep into the subject. Then next, I was in the summer of in Atlantic City, I was introduced to the word numerology, where like Kaya, like, what in the heck is numerology? But they didn't have YouTube. They didn't have no Instagram, no Facebook, no Twitter. And what happened is when I graduated from school, one of the first companies I worked for, CBS, had a book division called ReadyTune, Avon Books. That was the name of it, Avon Books. That's what CBS was publishing at the time. One of the first books I came across was Numerology by Vincent Lopez, who was a famous orchestra leader at the time. Mm-hmm. That led me into the journey. The beautiful part is, Kufunya, us living in New York, we get to meet people from all over the planet. And
absolutely.
So New York was my stomping grounds, all of New York City. And then I had the good fortune, someone like Kai, who loves to read. I find that people who read a lot tend to do very well in research and things like that. And then I would start reading people, and then they would start asking me, so what does this mean? What does that mean? I'd come home practically in tears by the time people gave me a beat down in the street. But it was okay, because what it did unknowingly was made me do my homework. Mm-hmm. So even the most I find some of my best readings down from the most skeptical people on the planet. It almost seems like I'm, get on a knee-jerk reaction and get right into it. But it has led to this. And so I combined numerology and astrology. So actually, Kaya, Simon, and I are one of the rare astronumerologists where we actually blend both worlds. But I got to give it to us. Of the three of us, Kaya has got us beat with the astrology part. So I ain't going to front. I'm going to give her props. When it comes to that astrology, I'll say, what time were you born in? And she can tell me where the sun is in the house. How do you do that? Other little things. So, but it's very, very nice. And little did I know, I would meet famous people from all over the world. I would meet governors. I would meet mayors. So Mayor Dinkins of New York City, Mayor Howard Washington in Chicago, Governor David Paterson in New York. A lot of politicians, although I don't say their names because if you go into them, they don't know me all of a sudden. But that's the nature of politics. Then celebrities. And in fact, the other day, I just congratulated Lettucey, the famous singer who won a Grammy the other night. And
Oh,
she texted back and said, "Yay, Lloyd, how you doing?" You know. So I met all kinds of celebrities. Who did I meet? Lena Horne, Barry White. It's just a who's who.
Oprah.
Yeah, Oprah 3 times. Wendy Williams, of course. Everybody knows Wendy. Charlemagne, before he was Charlemagne the God. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I met all these people, celebrities. Luther Vandross, I got an autograph by him. The OJs, Gerald Levert, Barry White. I mean, it's just a whole list of people. But it wind up opening more doors for me than I could ever imagine. It has taken me around the world, literally. I do appearances and stuff that's going to be doing at the end of the month in Atlanta with Kai and I. We're doing a lecture on health and wellness there at the Oasis Center in Atlanta, Georgia, the last weekend. So there's a lot of things that have been happening. Of course, I was blessed to write books. I encourage him to write books. He's now got out 4, working on another one. I'm talking to this sister here below us to start working on her book too. And this is what I do, Brandon. So I really try to leave a nice legacy behind of people that I've taught, people that I've known and learned, to pass this on, which is an ancient African science. That's exactly what it is.
And you know, the funny, well, not the funny thing about it is a lot of people don't think that this is a actual science, but there are people in high places that use this roadmap, such as numerology
I
and
like how you put that.
astrology,
Exactly.
to guide them on their path to say, okay, this or that, or let me just humble, to see, what is what. But it's a definite roadmap. Even sailors on, back in ancient days, follow the stars
Yes.
to
Yes.
see, when was it a good time to, set off and sail, or, which direction that they're going. So
And even in more recent history, Kufunya, J.P. Morgan, the famous financier, used astrology. Charles Schwab, the investment guy, also used astrology. In fact, both these guys, J.P. Morgan and Charles Schwab, actually had an astrologer on their staff when there was an attempted assassination on Ronald Wilson Reagan on March the 30th of 1981.
Wow.
In Washington, D.C., Nancy Reagan called in her astrologer and made sure that the president made no moves until he checked with the astrologer. And here's what makes it unique. The United States to date has only had 5 Aquarian presidents. 4 out of 5 of them died in office. The only one that didn't die in office was Ronald Wilson Reagan.
Wow.
Yeah, so they use these cosmic roadmaps. You're absolutely right. But in newspapers, they make it very entertaining. But as I tell people, they should come to professionals like Kaya and I and others like Simon and whoever does this, so they can get a real good feel. So you're not just a zodiac sign, you're a zodiac sign and a number. Then you go through cycles, which is what I want to emphasize today, that we all go through a cycle year. So when I did yours, August the 16th of this year, you're in a master number 11 personal year. So you're in a cycle that doesn't come often. See, because in numerology, the numbers go from 1 to 9, but then there are master numbers of 11 and 22. So when I took your birthday, the month and day you were born, adding it to the present year, factor that out to an 11. Now, ironically, the master number 11 is governed by only one zodiac sign and one zodiac sign only, followed by a minor one. That main zodiac sign is Leo. The fact that you're a Leo and the fact that you're in 11 personal year this year. And so with 11, that means you do things on a higher consciousness. All of this should have started back late September, October of last year. I think when you first started doing the cable show and called me on, and the rest is history. And what you do every week is raise consciousness. So you're in alignment. You're in perfect alignment. And since the 11 adds to a 2, you more than likely may have thought about a change of diet or the way you do things or prepare your foods and stuff like that. Yeah, these are all the key things.
You're on point.
Yeah, so we all go through cycles. So Kaya, that's where Kaya's strength is, knowing the personal year cycle. So I don't know whether people can call in, but if not, we can take turns. I can tell you what a 1 cycle means. She can tell you what a 2. I can tell you what a 3. She can tell you what a 4. 5, 6, and we just
Yeah, let's
alternate.
do that because the latest we're gonna go is 9:45. I
Okay.
told Father Rich that, and yeah, let's go and
Kai, you
let's
want to
talk
start
about
off
it.
with the personal year first, the one personal year, and I'll go alternate.
Take notes, people. Take notes.
Okay, so in the one personal year,
Oh,
this
can you explain how they do it again for people who may just tune in? How do you find it?
okay,
Take
so how you do
pen
your
and paper.
is you take your birthday, you take the day you born and the month you born, you add it to the universal year, like 2021 or wherever you want to know about your personal year. So this particular the one personal year means that this is the time where you have to stand on your own, you have to stand alone, take advantage, take the lead. You have to put your mask on, and I ain't talking about the mask that's currently going on. I'm talking about the mask to protect yourself from other people. So if you on that airplane and those, as Lloyd always say, those oxygen masks come down, you have to serve yourself first before you serve somebody else. So this is looking out for number one, taking the lead, new business, new alliances, new opportunities coming your way. This is where you have to stand on your 2 feet, and you cannot let nobody else take your shine or take your advantage of you. You really have to start things over, because the year prior to that, which Lloyd probably will discuss later, is that it's about ending, letting go, finding, releasing things that you want to let go, whether it's emotionally, physically, spiritually. You have to let it go so you can bring in that new energy and those new endeavors if you want to succeed in life. Because you can't bring everybody along with you. You have to start new sometimes. And starting new doesn't mean that it's dropping everybody down, but just start something new for yourself and doing what's best in your interest and not nobody else's interest.
Yes, I.
The 2 personal year. Again, for those that may have just joined in, how we determine these personal years, you must take the month and day you're born and add it to the present year, in this case, 2021. The beauty about this personal year technique is you can say, well, what cycle am I going to be 5 years up the road, 10 years up the road? What cycle was I back 5 years ago? Well, all you do is take the month and day you're born, add it to the year in question, in this case, 2021. So since Kai talked about the one personal year, the next is the 2. 2 is a transitional cycle where the number 1, you got to stand on your own. The number 2 cycle is about teamwork, making a collective effort, a collective consciousness. It normally deals with the opposite sex, a man with a woman with a man. It's about that teamwork effort. And normally it represents transitions with rearranging your home, transitions with rearranging the office, transitions with relationships. Like, I ain't speak to my brother in a long time and whatever, and now we finally done made up and we the best of buddies and all those things. It also means attending to the smallest of details too, because 2 is a detailed number. And in a cycle like this, people either find it hard to throw things away, or they begin to collect like collectors do. It also indicates being very conscientious in terms of a teamwork effort. It also means very conscious in your diet. So a 2, if you notice how a 2 is written, it's almost shaped like the intestines of the stomach. More than likely, this is the cycle where people attend to it. The people that are going to be most beneficial this year in helping them will be under the sign of Cancer, or born on the 2nd, the 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, 25th, or the 29th of any month. But patience is going to be a requirement. And if I tell women that when they're going through a 2 cycle like you are, Kufunya, but on a higher level, the beauty of women is y'all can be irresistible. And when you women are irresistible, it's a wrap. Okay? So for the women out there, just turn on the charm, ladies, and you'll get what you want with no resistance.
Somebody said the number 2 is also kneeling in prayer.
Well, it is. It is. If you look at the way it's shaped at too. I mean, the 2 represents yin and yang, back and forth, up and down, male and female, past and future, past and present. So it represents a lot. It represents a lot.
Okay.
Number 3.
So 3 personal year. This is where you get to the lights, camera, action is on you. So only be taking advantage of that energy. So if you want to do some self-improvement, self-motivation, talk to yourself. This is a way to improve yourself, whether it's by study, whether by receiving information from other people, or digging into your studies more, maybe going more on a spiritual path or on emotional path, or clearing out some emotional baggage in your life as well too. 3 is also about prosperity. And because it also is a sign that Jupiter rules. So if you count your blessings, right, if you planted your seeds in that 2-year, you can see a little bit of the forecast of your 3-year for the next 3 years ahead of your life. Also, a 3 energy is like kind of being fancy and flirty. So you're not really trying to be in a relationship. You're just trying to, just surf the web, or just, not surf the web, but you just kind of
Checking things out.
and you just fancying your business and relationship, not really committing to anything. So that's the big thing right there, is not putting yourself in a situation where you have to be committed to someone, because it's not going to work out, because you're going to get up there and figure it out. You know what? I shouldn't have done this. This does not look right, smell right, feel right. Why did I even put myself in a situation? So you're going to have to, back yourself in the own corner. So now you got to find yourself out the corner. So this is where you can really spread your wings and really soar. Money will be, financial will come in, but you got to put the work in. If you're not putting in that lead work, you're not trying to drive that bus, then it's not going to come to you. So
Yes.
Also it will be Pisces and Sagittarius coming into your life around that time to help you. Those born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, and the 30th of the month. And the minor way also the 6th, the 15th, and the 24th, and the 9th, the 18th, and 27th, because they are all in cahoots at the numbers of 369 are the magical numbers.
All right. Lloyd, we're going to number 4 or 5.
Yes,
4.
4
Okay.
is the foundation. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Before you go into it, people want to know, they're not paying attention. So can you tell them how they can get that cycle?
To find your personal year, it is so simple. You take the month and day you were born, and you add it to the year you presently want to know about, in this case, 2021. Because the thing that makes Kaya and I and other astrologers and numerologists popular around November, December, January, February, now that they're leaving the old year, what's going on? Now that we're into the new year, what's going on? So numerically, there's an excellent technique called the personal year cycle. There's the universal cycle first, which is 2021, which means no matter who you are walking, no matter where on this planet, you're part of the universal influence of this year, 2021. But 9 times out of 10, you have your own personal year. And to make that distinction, you take the month and day you were born and you add it to the year in question. So
Thank you.
If I took somebody who is born on, say, September the 8th and added to 2021, they would be in a 4 personal year, which is a cycle I'm now about to talk about. Well, in a 4 personal year, this is the foundational number. This is the number that lays the cornerstone. If you look at a car, it has 4 wheels. If you're sitting on a chair, it normally has 4 legs.
Yes.
So 4 is the foundation. And in fact, they will talk about north, east, south, and west, which is news, coming from the north, coming from the east, west, and south. So coming from all 4 directions. 4 represents structure and organization. 4 is the kind of number, Kufunya, where what you put in is what you get back. And people who are freeloaders, people who want something for nothing, is going to have a hard time getting it. So one time I did a show and I explained before, a person had said to me, when is my ship coming in? The question becomes, did you send the ship out there?
Right.
So if no effort, you can't expect nothing to come back. But if you work hard, put your shoulders to the wheel, work up a sweat. But a lot of people now want the easy way out. It's what they call instant gratification, just add water. Okay.
Right.
But the real world doesn't go like that. The real world requires that you make effort and energy. But for those who are prepared to in a 4 personal year, their foundation will be rock solid by the end of the year. Also, because it's a number of efficiency, waste not, want not, lend not, borrow not. And you know how the elders say, don't put any more on your plate than you can eat. Okay. Don't let your eyes be bigger than your stomach. You know, those kind of things. It's working with what you have. It's needs versus want. You may want that new coat, but you really need to pay these bills up in this piece. Okay. Little things like that. It also connects people with their past, but it makes them get their act together. And the rule should be to pay yourself first. Yes. I don't care how slim your bill is. If you got extra money, pay yourself first, then let everybody else get in line and they get their payments too. If they do that, they'll be surprised at the end of the year, they'll have a nice nest egg saved up like squirrels gathering nuts for the winter. So by the time winter comes, they rock steady. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to go out. The people that are likely to play an important role in their affairs will be Aquarians, Leos, and Geminis, or anybody born on the 1st or the 4th, the 10th or the 13th, the 19th to 22nd, 28th, or 31st of any month.
Thank you, Lloyd. Let's keep it rolling. We're going to number 5 now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right now we're currently in the 5-year because 2020 adds up to a 5. So I call it the public versus private with the writings on the wall. But
Uh-oh.
learning how to be free at the same time, because the 5 energy loves to be free. We have Mars and Gemini. Now that it has started itself and went through all the changes, now it's like, okay, listen, let me just break out this free and let me break out this house, sit in these indoors in your windows. I'm trying to get outside, fly, drive, whatever I'm trying to do. You're trying to promote yourself, market yourself, advertise yourself, build your mental strength as well too. Being more assertive, but being more assertive in a friendly way, but also being conservative as well too. So this is where we're gathering up meetings of the mind, where we're helping people out, whether it's a donation or a contribution. This is where you can really enhance yourself just by a word of advice or word of mouth information being spread around too. This is word of mouth is so much faster than the internet, unless you're going live at that point. But anything before the internet reaches, the news reaches the internet, is word of mouth first. Like Kobe Bryant, we heard about that before it even reached the news, and he's a 5 person as well too. So in this 5 energy year, it's more about your freedom, how you marketing yourself, but also opportunities coming your way. So if you plan, like Lloyd said, in that 4-year, you save some money, you build your foundation, you have a little bit more wiggle room coming up in that 5-year to do what you want to do, to have more opportunities and explore. Also, and 5 indicates freedom, flexibility, being more adaptable to your environment and to things going on, but also where a person want to go deep down into their studies, or even more writing. If you're in the news, if you're a writer or a researcher, you can really dive into your studies around this time as well in the 5-year. So you would find Geminis and Virgo would be involved, and those born on the 5th, the 14th, the 23rd of the month. And also Aquarius too, because Aquarius and Gemini is kind of like best friends a little bit. So, you would find them people, or those born on the 6th, the 15th, the 21st as well, being more involved in your affairs. Lloyd, this is.
Yeah.
Okay, next is the 6th personal year. Now, 6 has to do with home, family. When I have a client in front of me, especially a woman, I'll say, if you entering the year in door number 1 and you have nobody, more than likely all of that will change before the year is over. Door number 2, because a woman knows exactly what door they're opening up in a 6 cycle year. If you entering door number 2 and you've been in a relationship and it's been halfway decent, and you listening for it, like, let's date more exclusively, maybe we need to share some space together, it'll have a sense of taking on a deeper, more committed relationship. The 3rd door, though, is if you enter the year with somebody and they've been working your nerves, okay? More than likely by the summer, it's going to go south, okay? It is a cycle that deals with love, marriage, separation, divorce, birth, pregnancies, moving into a home, moving out of a home. It's also considered one of the health cycles in numerology, okay? It notes duty, responsibilities, obligations, making adjustments. It's also a compensation cycle that, let's say you went into an agreement with somebody a little while back and they didn't keep their word or agree to what they're supposed to, the law of compensation will kick in and take up for it. It is a cycle where, for women especially, I notice going into a 6-year, they don't look the same that they were last year. They change their hair. The beautiful thing about you women, see, we guys get a haircut or shave all our hair off, all right? You women, y'all are lengthen it, shorten it, streak it, restyle it, put locks in it, dreads in it. I mean,
braids.
I know you, okay? Yeah. So, you think we're corny, but y'all can put on a whole different persona. So for women especially, if they want to lose weight, this is the ideal time for women and men too in a 6 cycle year, because it deals with health. It deals with getting involved in a weight loss or exercise program for themselves too. They'll find that Tauruses and Libras or anybody born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th, followed by its counterparts of the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th, or the 9th, 18th, or 27th, because that's all a part of the trilogy that Nikola Tesla talks about, the 3-6-9 theory. that
Yeah.
those will be the people that will come and help them in some way, form, or fashion.
And I want to let people know that are in the chat. I know you're probably not used to seeing me on this particular channel, but what I always do is please support the people that are here that make it possible, like Father Rich. Cash app him, right? He's been generous enough to allow me to be on his platform, which I'm eternally grateful. Also, Kaya and Lloyd Strayhorn have various different programs, which they will announce later. We're only doing like general things, but we have a lot of people in the chat room. So come on, be generous. Where's the reciprocity? I'm not, you know, just giving is receiving and receiving is giving. That's all I'm going to say. And they will give out their information for a, deeper dive into your life. Okay. We're just doing general things right here. So pay attention and you may have to re listen. Okay, brothers and sisters? Thank you. Continue. We're going to what? Number what? Number 7?
So in the 7th personal year, this is more about where you are your best friend, and it's just me, myself, and I. And you kind of don't want to be bothered by too many people. You can come to my home. People telling you their secrets or things being revealed about things, or even you finding out some stuff, discovery about yourself, or you going down the rabbit hole a little bit more deeper. And what I mean by that is maybe you're taking up a study. Maybe you're trying to figure out what is numerology, what is astrology, what's the history of the Black people, whatever it is that you do, you're going to really go down and dissect, go down the rabbit hole. Like I'm going down, I'm going past just what I see on the surface. I'm going to go a little bit more deeper. So that's in the 7th personal year, more about self-discovery, self-reflecting. This will be where you can really go into nature and try to understand how does nature relate to life. What's the correlation between the stars and
Yes.
the trees, the bees, everything about life. This is where you go down the rabbit hole, like I said. So you're doing more some self-discovery and finding out who you are, where you come from, where you've been, just trying to find out who you are as well too. And a 7 years, we're like, you want to just be pretty much just by yourself. And I would just say, if you have things that you have done this year that things can come up for you that you thought you can hide, but nope, the sun is going to shine right on you until you. So that's in the 7th year.
Thank you, Sister Kaya.
You're welcome.
Brother Lloyd, number
In the
8.
8th personal year of all the cycles, this is when everybody want to know, when is my 8th year coming? It is associated with money and power and authority and achievement and recognition. It is also the cycles of births and marriages and pregnancies, separation and divorce, and moving into a home and moving out of a home. It is a cycle symbolically denoting rest from labor. It is also a cycle where you do a lot of growing up. You reconnect with people from your past. But your goal, and I've always said it, your goal in an 8th cycle is to aim for the sun, even if you only hit the moon, but think big. So if you're thinking small meat and potatoes and your perspective is very myopic, very small, you are not going to take advantage of everything that the year has to offer. That's the power year. That's the year. And in fact, when Joe Biden became the president, he was in an 8 personal year. The power cycle. Okay. So it's a cycle that anytime you want to aim for and think big, it makes you go beyond your comfort zone. You know how sometimes you stretch, and when you get past that point of stretching, you pull back. Well, it means stretch and go beyond that stretching. Really test yourself, really see what you can do, and really aim for it. This is when people do a lot of growing up. And when I say a pregnancy cycle, yes, it could mean that, yes, somebody could marry, yes, somebody could get pregnant. But Kai and I know that numbers speak in symbolic terms too.
Yes.
So you give a symbolic birth to a business, a project, a plan, an idea, an endeavor, a goal, an objective, whatever the case may be. And this year, they will find that the people that will play an important role in their lives will be a Capricorn, an Aquarius, a Libra, or anybody born on the 8th, the 17th, the 26th of the month, because these numbers add up to an 8, or their counter number, which is the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th. They're both earth numbers. And so that means that this year, health-wise, there may be some concerns with the knees, the headache, teeth, the bones, to the women more to the left side, to the men more the right side.
And now we're going to round it out with the number 9.
Yes.
Don't be left behind.
Right. I love the number 9 year because everything we just said is coming to a completion now, from the 1 through the 8. Now we're in a 9 year where you have to close the books, close the chapter. People want to be confrontation. People want to just ride your coattail, or people that just want to be all up in your mix. You just got to put a stop to things. This is not going to work if you keep bringing this energy along after you did 1 to 8 years. This is where your dreams are being fulfilled. Things are being accomplished. And this is a year, the month of May, the month of May and September are always like a breaking point. You know, you come to fork in the road. You have to decide where you want to go. Do you want to continue this job? Do you want to continue to work in here? Do you want to keep this relationship, or are you ready to just close it off? So this is where you have to dive deep into yourself and find out, what course am I going to take before I start this whole year all over, the cycle all over again, 9 years over. So, and this is also where you can have personality, meet people in politics, or meet people that have radio or TV personality, where you come into big things or big people and big circles that are pretty well known in their, either in their community or in their homes, or just on shows like Brother Rich Show. This is where you can really get more exposure, or when you come into writing or publishing, or publishing, and more resources as well too. But you have to be careful in the 9 year, because it is confrontation, but you can have accidents. So be careful how you handle knives and sharp instruments. You may be washing dishes and wonder how all of a sudden you got a cut on your hand. How did you get that cut? Maybe it's a knife that you didn't know. Maybe you hit your knee on the door or on the stairs coming up. Maybe you wasn't paying attention driving, you hit somebody's car. You know, these are just things that can happen in 9 personal years. So be mindful, but you have to have patient in 9 year. It's not going to come fast to you. You got to work for it, but you got to have some patience and understanding and compassion, because people are going to pull on you more than you ever so in this 9 year. So you're going to have to just let some people go who no longer serve purpose in your life, whether it's a place, a habit, or a thing, and you just have to just let it go.
Well, we did it. We're at the 946 number. What does that equal to? 6 and 4 is 10.
Yes, 19-1. It's called the Prince of Heaven. In your case, beautiful, you are the Princes of Heaven.
Thank you. So, Brother Lloyd, can you tell people what you're doing in closing and what you're offering for this present moment and the coming months?
Yes, after Kaya goes first. You know, I was raised a certain way.
True.
And it is Ladies' Month, too, Women's Month.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Well,
Kaya.
So my name is Kai French, and I am a columnist for the New York Amsterdam newspaper. This is my column. And I also post these columns on my Instagram on Know Your Numbers. That's KNOYYOURNUMB, the number 3 RS. My website is www.kyafrench.com. On there, I have a few specials, not too many. Also, Lloyd and I write a monthly moon newsletter every month. So if you want to know about your monthly moon letter, and it's free, just go to my page or Lloyd page and sign up to receive that information. Lloyd? Hold on.
You also do readings too.
I also do readings, and my number is 1-866-331-5088. Once again, that's 1-866-331-5088.
For me, you can find me on Instagram on The Numbers in You or Lloyd Strayhorn, Facebook on The Numbers in You or Lloyd Strayhorn, Twitter and or LinkedIn under Numbers in You or Lloyd Strayhorn. You can go to my website, lloyd-strayhorn.com. Hey, Brother Rich.
Peace, my brother. Peace, my brother.
Now you're finally meeting Kaya, that Brother Simon had talked about. But
Oh,
anyway,
hey, sis.
Peace, how you doing?
Everything good? Yeah, King Simon talks about you a lot, and Lloyd, they say you're absolutely amazing at what you do.
Thank
well,
you.
listen, I was blessed to be reading, and then I've been blessed to meet guys like Simon and Kai and other people that are very just as gifted as me. They just haven't put in all the years as I have, but they are. And you got banging shows. That's all I can say, Rich. I was
That's right.
when you had JT on talking about all the herbs and stuff, and I was talking to Mama Pill just recently about JT, and I mean it's just very, very nice. But anyway, my website is lloyd-strayhorn.com. That's LLOYD-Strayhorn, STRAYHORN. Yes, do go there, schedule a reading. You can sign up for the free monthly newsletter that Kai and I do. So the March issue is out and available. The April will be done in a couple of weeks. But it's on Rich's show that I was blessed in February of 2020 to announce the fact that I have an online course, and it was introduced on his show. And I remember
Beautiful.
about a couple of days later, I was excited because I had about 300 people sign up because I was on this platform, right?
Wow.
Today, Brother Rich, I have over 1,955 students in 56 countries in 22 languages because of what you started.
Damn, wow, that's amazing, brother.
I always give you a prop.
Thank you. That's amazing,
One of
brother.
your ears don't be burning, man. You know? I'll be
Yeah.
telling you real bad, okay? In a good way.
I want you to come back on the show on Wednesday, you and King Simon, because we've been trying to do a show for a minute now.
Okay.
You know how we do the readings on the air?
Okay.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
let's do that this Wednesday.
That is fine. Can I ask one thing? Can you now include Kaya if possible? Is that possible?
Hey, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Good enough. It'll be the triple three of us because we're all great. Okay.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
I'll definitely be tuning in, and I just wanted to give out my information too. I'm on Instagram.
Yay.
Kufunya Star Rebel. I'm also at Kufunya Ife at gmail.com. You can reach out to me for spiritual guidance, for the CMOS, for the crystals, for very beautiful used metaphysical books. Some of them are new, some of them are old, and they're very, they're classics. But, I want to, Brother Rich, I'm just so moved by how, when you set good intentions, how the universe conspires with you to make things happen. And I'm just so thankful for my momentum to have continued in spite of, like, there will be no obstacles, no analysis on how it happened. It just happens. I ask and it is given, and I seek and I shall find. And may the Most High Creator continue to bless you and your family for what you do and what you have done for me. I am eternally grateful, and thank you so very, very much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And it was because of you, Brother Rich, that we had a very successful course in Brooklyn on the 22nd of that year of 2019 with King Simon, Kaya French, and myself. And it all because that's when I brought my little granddaughter with me too. Remember, she got in the scene.
Oh, yeah.
So so she can't help herself. That's Miss Personality. But the point is because of you. So that's why I'm always so thankful to you, man.
I'm telling you.
Me. I appreciate it, man, that I'm able to help y'all the way I am, man.
I give you a pop, Simon. And I mean, Rich. And because of you, my show, my classes, online course took off. I mean, it just looked like a rocket. It was astounding. Thank you.
I want to say, I started my journey in 2015, but I started listening to your show, Brother Rich, when you had was it Brother Noble and Minister Jew on your show, or
Noble Ampool and Minister Jew.
I started my journey really at that point listening to you then, and you was on the before you got that's like was it a railroad show or something? Underground Railroad.
Railroad, yeah.
Into that too, and didn't know that Lloyd and King Simon was on that show. I was just listening to that part about, enhancing yourself, about spirituality and stuff like that, and your mind, the concept, and the way to think. I was just so amazed by what you guys were saying on there, and I started my journey on that. And I just say thank you. I'm honored to be on this show today.
Wow.
I'm honored too, and thank you for everybody for just chiming in the chat. Thank you, King Simon, as a chat moderator. I thank you, and make sure you support King Simon in his efforts as well.
Please do.
Because he's having phenomenal programs as well for Her Story Month and beyond. So, each one teach one, and if we can help another person, it's just an outpouring of abundance, in all levels where you least expect it, especially when you jump into the quantum field.
Yeah.
And not taking your past into your future. All we have is right now.
Yes.
All we have is now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And just
Brother Rich, what time Wednesday so I can put it on blast on my media sites? What time do you see it?
Well, I'm thinking let's say 4:30.
Yeah, that's fine. That's my 7. That'll work for me.
Yeah, let's say 4:30. And I'm tonight get in touch with text King Simon and see if that works for him.
And that's because you're born on the 17th, and that is the 17th.
Thank you. Yeah. And there you go. You started already. Oh man. I can't wait.
Wednesday's one of your best days out the week, other than Saturday and Fridays.
Oh, okay. Wednesday. I think you told me that before. Yeah.
I told you I want to give you a reading, get in your business this year. You're gonna have that.
I need one.
Virgos. So
I need another one.
Yeah, and shout out to Combina Music too. I mean, Father Rich is also a great producer. In that music, so big up to that. I mean, listen, we're geniuses. We got to stop living in limitations.
Yeah.
We are here to prosper. And we are here to animate. We animate through creation, through the God force. We don't have to be struggling.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Just get my book. I haven't cracked it yet, but I got it. Woke doesn't mean broke.
Right.
Billy Carson, let me tell you. And he was talking about pi today. Like it's the same day as Albert Einstein transition.
Yeah, his book, Albert Einstein's birthday was yesterday, March 14th.
And the other scientist, what's his name? Hawkins?
Stephen Hawkins.
They had the same birthdays.
Yeah.
And they transitioned around the same time at different time frames and everything like that. So I mean, the knowledge is here. Give thanks for whatever is going on. Some people might think it's a bad thing, but for a lot of people, they're doing a lot of great things.
Yeah.
And creating massive wealth and creating and reinventing themselves. So on that note, Brother Rich, thank you.
Thank you so much for having us on. I mean, it's sincere.
1,000-fold.
Hey, King Simon just texted me. He said he's good for 4:30. So we're gonna roll 4:30, family. Wednesday.
4:30.
King Simon, Lloyd Strahan, Kia French. They're gonna be in the building. Make sure you're there, family. So that's it, right, family? We good for today?
Yeah, we good. And bless you. All the best to you and your family, Brother Rich.
Thank you. Thanks for all y'all for being on the platform. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We get out of here, family. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.